Yes?
This is Spencer Holmes. I have someone here who would like to see you.
See me, would he? Out under the marquee?
Actually, I was thinking we would come inside.
Ah, inside. I'll abide. But first, a proof you must provide.
I'm here, just open the door.
Very well, no need to yell.
Who is this guy, the Riddler?
And I suppose that would make you Batman. And this would be Commissioner Weathers. Very funny.
So you hired a lunatic to kidnap my friends?
No, he's no lunatic. But he is a bit odd. Great. As if the two of you aren't bad enough.
That's far enough. Just stop right there. Until now, your friends have received reasonable care.
Where's that coming from?
But if you don't do as I say, then this I swear.
I think it's the balcony.
Your friends will have worries far more than mal de mer.
We are simply here to get our friends back safely.
Safely? Yes, well, safety is relative, and your friend's survival is at best tentative. It seems that they were rather sensitive to our particular brand of permanent sedative.
All right, we're listening.
Are you saying they've been poisoned?
Poisoned, yes, it is true, I'm afraid. But never fear, their departure can be stayed. You need merely to follow my instructions and make a few logical deductions. I would like very much for you to have the antidote, but first of a few things you must take note. Let the professor leave here free. And in return, I will guarantee that what you search for will be provided by me.
All right, you heard him. Let me go. Yeah, right, like we're gonna trust you.
I'll go up there. Once I have secured the antidote, I'll give the word to release him.
No good. He is under strict orders to destroy the antidote if anyone but me approaches him. He may be an unusual character, but one thing is for certain. He follows orders.
Okay, then you go up there and get the antidote, and I'll let you walk out the front door.
Holmes! It's a deal, but I would appreciate the use of my hands.
Of course. Weathers?
Holmes?
Just do it.
I don't like this.
Let's head for the stage. We'll be able to see the balcony from there. Your officers are in position out front, correct?
Of course.
Good.
You're not really gonna let him go, are you, Holmes?
Of course not, but he's not really going to hand over the antidote either.
No, I suppose not.
Ah, see, there they are.
All right, Professor. Now bring the antidote back down and no funny business.
You know, Holmes, I had hoped it wouldn't come to this. But I always said things would have to play out this way.
What's he talking about?
I wish you luck with your friends. Goodbye, Holmes.
James, what are you doing?
He's got a gun!
He's making a break for it.
Jimmy, suspect is headed your way out the front.
10-4.
Come on.
Got him, boss.
Tisk. You know, Professor, I thought you were smarter than this. Did you really think you'd just be able to run out the front door and we wouldn't catch you? What's the matter? Did you run out of clever things to say?
Well, I guess he does have the right to remain silent.
Not until he tells me where the professor stashed my friends.
What? You mean this isn't...
No, that's not Professor James Martin.
He's right. This guy's wearing a wig.
But if you're Quentin, that means we need to get back inside now.
Don't bother, he won't be there.
Well, we have to do something.
Oh, we will, don't worry. But we have more important things to do right now.
Yes, of course. Dr. Watson and Mr. Dahlen. But where's the antidote?
Check his pockets.
Got it.
Now, about my friends.
Down the rabbit hole you have fallen, just to save a Watson and a Dahlen. I hope these clues you have not forgot, or all your search will be for naught. But do not fear, my dear Holmes, for the light is near, guiding you back home.
Why can't you just talk like a normal person?
It's all right, officer. I think I have everything I need.
Good, then let's go. Are you sure this is where they are?
Earlier, the Riddling fellow said your friends will have worries far worse than mal de mer. Mal de mer, of course, is seasickness. So when he said, your search will be for naught, I knew he meant the nautical term knot, K-N-O-T. The phrase, "the light is near guiding you home," got me thinking about lighthouses, and I realized this one was almost exactly 4 knots from the theater.
If you say so. It's locked. That figures.
Not a problem. Breaking and entering is one of my specialities.
I don't want to know.
Let's see here.
You know, lockpick sets are illegal.
What, this? This isn't a lockpick set, it's just, well, okay, it's a lockpick set. Are you gonna arrest me, or should we save a couple of lives?
All right, but I'm confiscating that when we're done.
Watson, are you okay?
I've been better. I can't seem to remember how to get to Tuesday from here.
I'm all right, too. Thanks for asking.
Glad to hear it.
Holmes?
Yes?
Why aren't you wearing your banana?
The poison seems to have affected him a bit more than myself. Oh, so you're a doctor now, are you? No, I was just giving my opinion to the man. Well, maybe he didn't want it. Did you ever think of that? The poison seems to have affected him a bit more than myself.
I think we better get these guys to the ambulance.
The poison seems to have affected him a bit more than myself.
Good plan.
Sounds wonderfully.
The poison seems...
Holmes?
I'm here, old friend, but you should continue to rest. That poison was nearly the end of you.
I think I'll be all right, but I'm not real excited about being in a hospital. The food at these places is terrible.
I think you'll be just fine.
The last thing I remember, Mr. Dahlen and I were bound in a room. And I think maybe you were there. It's all kind of fuzzy.
Yes, I was. I had to get Professor Marty out of prison to save your life.
You let him escape? Then we should go get that fiend.
All in good time, Doctor. You of all people should know that you require a bit of time to rebuild your strength after being poisoned so thoroughly.
I suppose you're right. But I don't like very much that he used me to escape. I'll not rest well until he is back where he belongs.
I was hoping you'd say that, but for now we have a few other cases which will merit our attention. He will remain dormant for a while, I'm sure, and when he feels safe and lets his guard down, that's when we'll spring our trap.
Just one last thing before I go back to sleep.
How did I know where to find you, and on what grounds was I able to get Professor Marty out of prison? Oh, I suppose you'd like to know about the Scottish Council members as well.
Indeed.
As is often the case with these things, everything was connected. It was a brilliant plot, really, in which the professor showed himself to be nearly my equal. He could have committed any murders anywhere, but these murders had a hidden meaning. He knew that the mention of my grandfather's name would pique the interest of Inspector Drin, and assumed that he would come for advice.
I see. Couldn't he have just chosen people to murder that Officer Weathers would likely investigate and remove some of the probability?
Yes, but then I would not have found my way to the place where you were being held. Only Simon Drin could point the way to you.
Drin? How so?
That one had me stumped for a while, and I do apologize for the delay. The answer lay in his name. Simon Drin is an anagram for Don Miners.
Am I supposed to recognize that?
Come now, Watson, I thought you were a fan of the theater. Don Miners was the affluent gentleman who built the Stirling Theater all of those many years ago.
And Inspector Drin was from the town of Stirling over in Scotland.
Precisely.
Holmes, I'm afraid we've done it again.
What's that?
Taken a case that we weren't going to get paid for.
My dear Watson, I should think that your life would be payment enough this time.
Indeed.
Boy, Doctor, I think that I prefer to hear your stories after they are over from now on. Taking part in them seems to be very dangerous.
Yes, indeed it is. But usually not more than we can handle.
Well, you'll have to be a pair of crime-smiting investigators for the time being. Being part of that trio is too much for me.
Come now, Craig. Surely you enjoyed yourself a little bit. Think of the story that you'll be able to tell your grandchildren.
I did have a little bit of fun. Up until we were poisoned and nearly died, I thought that it would be just a matter of time before Holmes came to our rescue. I am disappointed, though, that Professor Marty was able to escape.
Don't worry. We'll catch that snake in the grass if it's the last thing we do.
Well, I hope it isn't.
You and me both.
So, given our current state of hospitalization, I'm thinking perhaps we should take a little time off.
Indeed. A little time to relax and enjoy the holiday season wouldn't hurt things. How about we meet up again, after the new year?
Sounds great. And that will give the folks some time to check out some other great programs from Strobe Studios, coming up in the next few months.
All right, it's settled then. Now, I hear that Officer Weathers had to pick up some slack for you last time due to our unwilling status as hostages. Perhaps you'd like to set things back in order?
I would indeed. Tonight's Watson Files adventure was written by Michael Helgens and Scott Strosahl. Spencer Holmes and Dr. Watson were played by Michael Helgens and Greg Kilberger. Additional voices were performed by Steve Rimpici. This is Craig Dahlen saying good night from Strobe Studios.
To all our fans, we thank you for the fun. But this is the end of our season number 1. Now please don't cry, don't yell boo-hoo. Before you know it, we'll start season 2.
I would encourage you to do so before returning tonight. Before returning to... It's a lot of T's. British people are supposed to like tea, but not today.
That was funny.
I don't see much of anything. Ugh. That's right.
That's right.
That was delightful.
Ugh. That's right.
Yes.
Why aren't you wearing your banana? That's awesome.
Oh, you have to say it again since we all laughed.
Yes.
I don't know if we gave you a pause or not, but now I'm crying.
We'll try it again here. Now I gotta remember it. Holmes?
I think we better get these guys to the ambulance.
No Sherlock. Yeah, we wanted to drop that one in there for